Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How y'all doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today, let's talk about some best and worst purchases of 2024. I would love to share with you all the things that I myself purchased in 2024 that I really, really loved or that I really, really did not love. There's no gratis in this video because I didn't purchase those things, even though there was a ton of stuff that I tried in gratis that I didn't love or that I did love. And there's also no palettes in this because I have a palette ranking video coming very, very soon where you're going to see every single palette that I use this year and how it ranks in my thoughts and opinions on them over the last year. So with that said, I hope that sounds like something you're interested in watching. If it is, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care, and ultimately this is my self-care. I love to come out here, talk to you guys about the good, the bad, the ugly of all the things that are coming into my collection, leaving my collection, and I hope that you're here for it. I hope that it brings as much solace to your soul as it brings to mine, because that is why I'm here. And you'll want to subscribe before you go. And if you do, I want to welcome you into this YouTube fam. We're super happy to have you here. Let me know down in the comments section. Hit me up down there. I always like conversing with everybody down in the comments section. And with that said, let's roll into this best and worst purchases of 2024. Today we're talking about the purchases that I myself have made, the ones that I myself have spent my money on, and how I feel about them. Now, I do go through the list of the purchases that I made throughout the year, because I'm a little anal retentive and I keep a tracker of all those things that showcase everything that I've brought into my collection, whether I've purchased it, whether it was gratis, how much it cost, all those things. I do go through that list, but I do that more to remind myself of some of the things that I purchased this year versus what I purchased last year, so that I'm not bringing things in here that I maybe purchased last year. That gets a little convoluted. Also, not everything that I purchased this year has made its way into this list, right? These are just the things that when I think about the products that I purchased this year that I also used this year, what I really love using and what I really love pulling for and what I want to continue pulling for over and over and over again, or what I really did not love using, what I stand on a mountain and say are the worst products that I have ever tried. Those are the products that we're talking about today. It's not everything. So I only have like a literal handful of products because, again, we're not talking about palettes and we're not talking about gratis. We're just talking about the things that I purchased myself. So we're going to start with Polite Society because I just uploaded a video talking about new brands that I tried this year, and Polite Society is one of them. Polite Society is a brand that surprised me because it is a Jared Blandino brand, and I'm not a big fan of Jared Blandino, and Jared Blandino created Too Faced, and I'm also not a great big fan of Too Faced, even though there is also a Too Faced product in here. I just find that their products are just kind of so ho-hum and aren't fantastic. And granted, I did not try like a palette or anything like that, so I don't know what those are like, but I did try some blushes and a lip product from them that I absolutely love so dang much that I purchased myself. That said, after purchasing this lip product, I got another lip product in gratis as well as a foundation in gratis. So I have tried multiple products from this brand and they're all good. They're all good. So let's start with this. This is the Polite Society Polite Pout Glossy Lip Balm. And I do have it over the top of my lip liner right now currently. I love this. It makes your lips look super big, super pouty, and super healthy and shiny and beautiful. It doesn't like sink in to any kind of lines. It doesn't exacerbate any kind of texture that you have on your lips. I don't find that it travels all over the place. It tastes good. I want to eat it. This one is in French caramel. French. Yep. French caramel. I want to eat it. It is so good. I would say that it is more like the Sunday Riley lip butter balms that everybody loves and I also love. Then another lip product that I'm going to talk about because it tastes good, it feels good, whatever. But I do think that the Sunday Riley ones are a little bit more hydrating than this one is specifically. I feel like this is more of a lip gloss, whereas the Sunday Riley ones are more of a nourishing lip balm. That said, I still feel like these nourish my lips. I just feel like they nourish them just a little bit less. Both of them are so, so good. This one is in the flavor Bumbleberry. It reminds me of like raspberries and blueberries. I don't know. It's super good. This one leaves kind of like a hint of pink on your lips, whereas this one leaves kind of like a warmer hint on your lips, maybe a little bit more peachiness. It is brown, whereas this one is kind of purple. Really beautiful lip formulation. Love it so much, and was super happy to get another one in gratis. And then there are these, which are their blush sticks. I think that's all that they're called. I probably would not have second glanced these if I had not been shopping with my boss. And I think I've told you guys before that shopping with her is bad news bears because we feed each other's like obsession. This is in the shade Los Angeles, which is just kind of that like pinky blue based pink that everybody went crazy for this last year and really the year before that. And then this one is in the shade Sydney, which is kind of like a terracotta shade. Even though it looks rather mauvey in here, it actually performs more like a terracotta on the skin. This is what they look like. They are so, so beautiful. Very, very pigmented. They feel amazing to the touch. They feel like powder to the touch, but they go on effortlessly. They blend out effortlessly. They're just so good. I really, really like these so much. And I found myself wanting to pull for them over and over and over again, especially the terracotta one in the shade like Sydney. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's quite a bit of it that has been used just because it's so pretty. These are called Polite Pops. I don't know how I saw that, but it's white writing on light pink. I don't know why brands do that. That drives me nuts. They're called the Polite Society Polite Pops. And the foundation also, yes, I know I got it in gratis, but the foundation also is really pretty perfect. Sits on the skin beautifully, doesn't exacerbate texture, doesn't oxidize. It is a beautiful foundation. So not going to spend too much time there, but Polite Society, those are some of the products that I find myself pulling for over and over again in my collection. The next thing I have on here is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. And I think this has a handful of people that like the opinions on it are very polarizing on the space. And I think that the reason why I love it might be also the reason why the people who don't love it don't love it. This is a hydrating, smoothing, and correcting serum skin tint, and I find all those things to be true. It goes on really, really nicely. It looks really, really good on the skin. It has a thicker consistency, kind of like that of a foundation, really, but it just blends out like effortlessly and does its job to like create the perfect version of your skin without feeling heavy, without looking like foundation. I think this is probably the perfect version of foundation for a no makeup kind of mindset. It does hydrate. I feel like it doesn't like cause any kind of dryness or even pick up on any dryness that's on your skin. I have really dehydrated or dry skin that is aging skin, and this does a really good job of creating a really beautiful clean canvas that is skin that doesn't look like it has anything over the top of it. Like, I love that product. And I think that overall the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin line is beautiful. It does a beautiful job of smoothing your skin in any kind of texturized areas. It does a really beautiful job of hydrating as well and kind of building your skin back up from the inside out. I feel like it just sinks in and creates wonderful things. It's like magic to your skin, in my humble opinion. That's the way I feel about it. It's beautiful. I am also a person that loves skin tints. Like medium at most kind of foundation coverage is what I'm looking for. So this is kind of a product that falls right into my wheelhouse, right? The next thing I have on here is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. Now, I do have mine in the shade Cocoa Cream, and it does smell like chocolate. And I know that this also is pretty polarizing because these came out and everybody was like, this is better than the the Summer Fridays one. And everybody was already so intensely in love with Summer Fridays that there are some people that are like, I think not. And I can see where that comes from. These Summer Fridays ones smell so good. This one smells like chocolate. That said, I don't love chocolate. My friend Erin says that hers smells like cardboard. If it's the same one, I can see how it smells like cardboard. Because to me it smells like chocolate, but I don't love chocolate. To a chocolate lover, it might smell like cardboard. Yeah, I could see how it smells like cardboard. I don't know if this is the one that she has, but I feel like they are similar in formulation and how they interact with your lip skin, right? In like nourishment and hydrating and making them look just juicy and healthy. I feel like they're similar in that way. However, I do think that the Summer Fridays ones taste better and smell better than these guys. I did have the Citrus Sunshine one that I gave to my daughter. That one straight up smelled like oranges, and I think I could definitely go for that one. I know that I want to try the strawberry one too, but I don't need any more of these. As you guys see, I have 3 almost full ones just sitting here. That's not including what's in my collection, but these are really good. I think these do a better job of nourishment and hydration of my lips specifically. I don't love the smell of this one. I don't know what I was thinking getting the cocoa cream one. Probably because I wanted the color more than I wanted any of the other colors. It was a bad choice as far as that goes because this one doesn't smell the best in my humble opinion. But I do feel like this nourishes my lips more and for longer than the Summer Fridays ones. I also feel like that in that case, based on these polite society ones, I feel like this one does a better job of nourishing my lips than those ones do. Again, those ones I feel like are a little bit more of a gloss, and these ones are more of a colored treatment. So really love this product as well. Really super excited to have it in my collection and would purchase more. The next couple items I have here are a couple of blushes that I purchased this year. This is the RMS Beauty Redimension Hydra Powder Blush, and this is in Pomegranate Fizz. That is stunning. This, I think, was the first glowy blush that I've had in years, like glowy blush that I've had in years that made me fall in love with glowy. This looks like it could be what's on my eyes. It's not what's on my eyes, I promise you that. But it is so pretty. It is beautiful to the touch. It's beautiful on the skin. It just lends to a really healthy glow on your cheeks. It doesn't look like a stripe of highlighter. This is the epitome of what a glowy blush should be, and I have some in my collection that I purchased that I don't love for reasons that are opposite of why I do love this. I also love that these components are made so you can pop out the product that is in here, put it into a different component, and put a different color in here. I don't know that they're magnetic, so I don't know what you're going to do with this blush if you pop it out of here, put a different color in, right? What are you going to do with that? But I love this blush. I think it's just beautiful, and it is glowy without being glittery, and glowy without also looking like it's really just a highlighter on your cheeks. It is such a beautiful blush, and I want to pick up more, and I just happenstanced upon them in JCPenney. Like, who knew JCPenney had amazing makeup in their stores now? They took out Sephora and they put in a bunch of like little indie brands, which I think is fantastic. I got some Lunar Beauty stuff there too. I was crazy sauce amazed. The next one is this, and this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Blush, and I have mine in the shade 61, which I can't remember what the name of it is. I do think that I purchased this at a VIB sale. I think it was the spring VIB sale with the thought process that this was going to be a beautiful blush for winter. This also looks like it could be what's on my eyes. It's not what's on my eyes. This is such a beautiful luminous blush, and it doesn't look like it is going to be a luminous blush at all. Like it looks very matte in here. The one thing that I love about it is that it is really really firmly pressed. So even though it's kind of a crazy like outlandish color, you're not going to get a whole lot on your brush, and it's just life-giving. It's not like glittery, it's not like, I mean, you can see the difference, right? Between this one being a glowy blush and this one being just a luminous blush. It's just a subtle glow to your cheeks and just really makes your cheeks look super healthy and alive. And I think that's what I am looking for these days, because I'm 48. I am getting old and my skin is looking sallow and I want to look alive. So I really love that blush. It's a beautiful blush. It goes on. It's effortless in how you're blending it. It's also effortless in use because even though it's a scary color, it's super firmly packed in there. So you're not going to pick up a whole lot. It's really buildable. You can go crazy with it. You can get ham with it, but it's not going to start out that way. The next two products I have are highlighters, and they are these guys here. So I have the Natasha Denona High-Gen Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier in 01 Light. That is what this guy is. It is just, it's gorgeous to look at. It's beautiful to touch because it's like this. Do you guys remember the Stila Heaven's Hue like putty luminizers? That's what this reminds me of, only not like domed like those and definitely not as putty like. But you can like stick your finger in here and leave an imprint, right? So it is definitely putty-like, but these are wet look natural highlighters that are just truly skin beautifying. Like such a beautiful highlight. It goes on your skin. It doesn't exacerbate any texture. It doesn't look like anything's laying on top of it. It just looks like natural to your skin. You can make it look crazy beaming from the moon, but you can also do it very subtle, and it is the perfect formula, I firmly believe, to just be one with your skin. This is such a good job. She did such a good job on that highlighter. Along the same realm are these Fenty Beauty Demi Glow light diffusing highlighters. I have this one that I pulled out in Too Much, which I really enjoy because it's a pinky highlighter and I love pinky highlighters. But I also have Pretty Pearls, which is kind of more of a like champagne-y one. It feels similar to the Natasha Denona Glow Beautifier in that it feels kind of like a cream, but this one is not. This one isn't a putty. You can't like put your fingers in it and leave an indent, right? It is definitely a powder, but it's like a baked powder. And what I love about it is it sits very similarly on the skin. It's just this one specifically is pink. So it's got that like wet effect to it, but also doesn't really exacerbate any texture. It looks like it could be your skin just glowing. It is just so pretty. It doesn't sit on top of your skin like a lot of like highlighters or powders do. It melts into your skin and it is just so pretty. There's a reason why I have 2 shades of it. I don't have 2 shades of the Natasha one because I feel like I can't wear 2 shades of the Natasha one. So the last 2 products I have in here are these guys here. This one came to me very recently, but it is the Westman Atelier foundation stick. And I don't 100% love a foundation stick, and this guy was so expensive. I'm just going to say that. But the one thing I love about this foundation stick is it is so pretty on the skin. It reminds me of the Serum Skin Tint by Danessa Myricks in that it goes onto the skin, really just becomes one with the skin and isn't a separate part of your skin once you've got it like blended out and all the things. It just looks like a perfect version of a more perfected version of your skin. It is so pretty. It is maybe not blurring, but also blurring. I don't know. There's just something about it. It is really pretty. I feel like it is a foundation stick that everybody could jump on board with. Normally, foundation sticks feel like foundation sitting on top of your skin, right? They're kind of heavy. They're just a different kind of formula. And I feel like this one becomes one and does what it needs to do to perfect your skin. And this is called the Vital Skin Foundation Stick, and I really feel like it is a perfecter for your skin. The last one is this, and this is the Too Faced Kissing Lip Jellies. And you guys, this is probably hands down my favorite gloss formula of the year. This is a gloss slash oil hybrid. I actually went and bought another one. It is the bubblegum one. It has glitter flecks in it, and I was kind of timid to buy that one, but this smells so good. I want to eat it. This is the cotton candy flavor. It's not going to show up on your lips blue, but I love that it is blue. I love this really beautiful, really hydrating, really long lasting gloss formula that feels great on your lips and isn't sticky, right? So you're not going to get those spit strindles. Granted, I do not feel like it's a treatment level hydration, but it is a really nice hydrating lip gloss that I don't have any problems using it. As a matter of fact, it's almost gone because I use it almost every single day. Let's switch gears and talk about the products that I did not love that I purchased this year. I only have a few left in my collection, so let's talk about the ones first that I don't have in my collection still. First things first, the ABH Brow Freeze. I bought one of these. Why did I buy one of these? I have no idea. I really did think that I was going to like this, I think, because I do like, to some extent, a brow gel that keeps my brows upright, right? So I really did think I was going to love this product, and I absolutely hated it. I purchased it. I waited far too long to try it out. By the time I ended up trying it out, I couldn't take it back to the store anymore. And that was a bad news bears thing because I hated it. Like, I could never get the ratio right of what needed to be on my spoolie versus what didn't need to be, versus what was being picked up by my spoolie in the container. It also went bad like super fast. Once I opened it, if you're not going to use that whole container in like 6 months, you might as well call it Dunzo, because it gets super cloudy. It creates nastiness in your brows even more than I felt like it did prior to that. If you are using the ABH Brow Freeze in the pot with the spoolie and all the things, I would love to know how to create the magic in your brows that you create without there being like little white balls everywhere. Like, I felt like my brows had dandruff every single time I wore this product. So I said, screw this mess, and totally discarded that out of my collection. I also am not impressed that it was completely cloudy within 6 months. Like, that seems crazy fast to me in terms of it, not being useful anymore. The next thing I have on here that I no longer have in my collection is the Youthforia Color Changing Blush. I think that you guys also heard about this in my last video. The one that I'm in the same outfit, same makeup, all the things that you saw last week, because this blush was atrocious. It was something that I knew I shouldn't have purchased the minute I purchased it, but then still took it home, tried it out. Yeah, bad. I gave it to my daughter because she often does not wear like foundation, and what I found to be true with this blush is that it would pick up any makeup that was underneath it. So if I was wearing foundation of any kind, it would pick it up. In addition to that, it was a liquid, right? It was pH adjusting. So it was green in the container, and then you smeared it on your skin and it turned pink, which was all fine and dandy. We all know these color changing always turn pink, right? No matter what your pH is. I really did anticipate that I would have enough time to blend it out. You didn't. I also anticipated that when it didn't work going straight onto my skin, on my cheek, that I could put it on my hand and pick it up with like a brush or a sponge and then place it on my cheeks. You couldn't. It was awful. And the doe foot was the tiniest doe foot for that kind of product. It was like a Charlotte Tilbury concealer doe foot, really skinny, really thin. So not only did I have to like dot it on, which I couldn't really do, but you had to kind of like smear it on and then work super, super fast to try to blend it out, and it just didn't work. It picked up everything underneath it because you're smearing it on, and then you have to blend it so rigorously that everything around it, you just have this like gaping blank space and this purple stripe or pink stripe across your cheekbone, and it didn't look good. So my daughter's having a grand old time with it. I thought it was the worst product ever. The last thing that I no longer have in my collection is the Half Magic Eye Electronic Extreme Mascara in Violet Act, and it was a purple mascara. I'm into colorful mascaras. I often use the About Face, the matte eye paints, to make colorful mascara for myself. That's why I love that brand and I love those products. So I purchased this thinking that it was going to be amazing. I'm going to have this beautiful purple mascara. Not only did it not I did try this in a get ready with me as well, which I'll link up in the cards for you. Not only did it not show up at all on my lashes, but it also flaked all over my face, in my eyes, and I ended up with like purple raccoon eyes. It just wasn't amazing. The wand on it was really super floppy, so I kind of almost made a mess of myself even trying to put it on. I did give it to my daughter. She does like it, but she also has strawberry blonde lashes and I have brown ones. So if you have brown lashes, this is not a mascara that's going to show up on your face. So now getting to the products that I do have in my collection, let's start with something that I just kind of already talked about, but it is the glitter eye paints. This is the About Face Fractal Eye Paint, and this one is in Fracture, I think it's what it's called. I love the matte eye paints so much that I thought, and honestly, and the multi-chromey ones, so much that I thought, this has got to be amazing also. This is not amazing. Like, there is no like oomphiness to this. Yes, it is glittery, but it isn't like as oomphy as you would expect like a cream or liquid glitter eyeshadow pigment to have. I don't love the color of it. I really did think it was going to be more this color, I guess, than this kind of like orangey color. I would have liked that more. It's also really super subtle. Like I like a little bit more in your face. Like wham, there you go. Here you are. Sparkle. That's just not sparkly enough for me. One thing that I will say about them that I think is fantastic is once they're on, they literally go nowhere. And that's the same for the matte paints as well. I love the About Face matte liquid eye paints. I love the About Face multi-chrome liquid eye paints. They're all so good. I just don't like the glitter ones. And the next thing I have on here is this, and this is the Good Apple Blush Balm Duo. This one is in Nymphs Grove, and this one I was subtly talked into by one of my general managers in my store. When I was in her store, this is what she talked me into early in 2024. And the thing is it's not bad. It's really not. Like, the formula of it is really quite nice. I don't think that it remains like super balmy, so it dries down, your hair doesn't stick to it. It's not super bad. I think the reason why I have this on my list of worst of is because of the color that I chose, and that's a me problem. I chose this, right? I think she actually chose this, but I chose to say yes to this. This is just not, these are not colors that I should be wearing. Honestly, this one, I think I've said before, I am so drawn this last year to a purple blush, and I have no business wearing a purple blush. I do not look great with a purple blush on my face. This looks not good. This one, this red one, is really pretty. I really do like it, but it is also a cream, so it's really hard to make more subtle. It's really hard to make it more subtle. I literally took just a little finger in there and blended it out, and this is what I got. What I will say about these, much like the Fractal Eye Paints by About Face, is once they're on, they stay. I mean, yes, you can see a little bit on my finger. They're not wholeheartedly dried down. I think with these two shades, specifically the purple one, every time I wore this, it just looked like I was bruised. So that is more of a me issue, but it still stands as one of the products that was one of the worst purchases that I made in 2024 because I used it and then never wanted to use it again, right? So that's just kind of a big waste of money. The next thing I have on here is another product that is a cheek product. I have quite a few cheek products on here actually. And that is the Smashbox Sculpt and Glow Face Palette. I even had face palettes on my no-buy list for 2024 and still bought this. I charged myself 2 extra points for purchasing this. I don't know why I purchased this. I really do think that the reason why I purchased it is because of this highlighter, which is rose quartz, which is honestly so pretty. It's such a pretty highlight, and it is one of the highlights from Becca that I love, that I don't think that I own in the big Becca thing. I think I owned it, but I think I no longer own it. So I think that's the reason why I picked it up. But also because of this bronzer, which I thought, or contour bronzer slash thing, which I thought looked like a perfect shade of contour. These are not great. They're not great powders. I did not love using this. I feel like they're also small. Like my bronzer brush doesn't fit in here without touching the, the blush next to it. So I was consistently struggling with getting bronzer on my brush without getting blush on my brush. So then I had to go to a smaller bronzer brush. Then I couldn't like blend as well as I usually blend my bronze. Then I felt like it was just a big stripe. Like this could be just a user error problem, but these are also really super hard pressed in here. And I think hard pressed is good in some cases. And in this one, it's not, because it's in a palette. You really have to go ham in there to get any kind of pigmentation. And even then, like I just dipped my fingers in there and the pigmentation is just not wholeheartedly awesome. We have the blushes, but where's the bronzer? Nowhere. It doesn't. It's not amazing. It's not amazing. At the end of the day, I'm really sad that I purchased it because it's just not a face palette that when I look at the face palettes in my collection that I am wholeheartedly in love with. And I know that if I am using it, it's going to be a struggle to use. The next products were these, and these make me so sad, but for the reasons why I love the RMS Redimension one, the reasons why that blush is so amazing are the same reasons why these ones are not. These are the Rare Beauty powder blushes. I think they're the soft pinch powder blushes, and I may be the only one that feels this way, but these, I don't think that I am. Let's just start there. These are highlighters. These are not blushes. These are pink and coral highlighters. This one is in the shade Cheer, and it looks beautiful, right? And it's supposed to be a glowy blush. That is not a blush. That is a highlighter. That is a coral highlighter. This one is in the shade Hope. Again, not a blush. Like these are not blushes. So I could have stood behind these if these were supposed to be highlighters, but they are supposed to be blushes that are not blushes. So I will never wear them as a blush, and they are too pigmented on the back end for me to be a highlighter. So these are just going to be products that sit in my collection. Now, that said, I think my boss, we were shopping together when we purchased these. I think she loves hers. I do think that she got one of the same shades that I got, but I would consider like decluttering one or both of mine to her, because I will never wear those because they are a highlighter that is pretending to be a blush. So they're too pigmented to actually be a highlighter that looks good on my skin. And I cannot make them work for me. So that would be why those fall into the worst products that I purchased for 2024. And last, but certainly not least, are these guys here. These are, and if you know, you know, if you have been around this channel, you probably know this to be true. These are the Melt glitter eye gels. And yes, these are the ones from the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. And I did get one in my Nightmare Before Christmas collection prior to purchasing in 2024. However, that one, when it came to me, was dried up, so I couldn't use it. So I did repurchase it. When all of the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff went on sale and was on sale still during the spring Sephora VIB sale, I bought both of them. Worst purchasing decision ever. These suck. Like, who likes these? First and foremost, they dry out too fast. This one has been used once. You can see how low it is in there. It's already dried out again. I make sure that it's super closed. It might as well be like a putty at this point. And because it's a putty, it doesn't like spread like it should. But moreover, it is so gritty. These are so gritty. This one is more of a moussey formula, which I also think is very strange. They're so gritty. They're like sandpaper on your skin, on your eyes, wherever you put them. They're awful. Putting them on your eyes is one thing. Getting them off is painful. Who uses these? Like, how do you use them? These, I love Milk Cosmetics. I love their palettes. For the most part, I haven't had one that I haven't loved yet, except for Millennial Pinks. I love their blushes. I love their highlights. I love everything about Milk for the most part. These suck. I did not love these at all. Worst purchase ever, and I will never purchase them again. And when it comes to the declutter series, these will be going into declutter. I will gut them. I will continue to use the pots because the pots are super cute and they're Nightmare Before Christmas, and I love that. But these were awful, and you should not waste your money. They're so gritty. They're so bad. And that's it. So I'm sorry to end on the bad note. Maybe I should have went positive, negative, positive, negative. But I like to start on a positive note, end on a negative note if I have one. Not that I want that to be the last thing that you're thinking of me on, but then I wrap it all up in a nice pretty bow and come back to you and be all positive in the outro, right? So thank you guys so much for joining me today. What were your best and worst purchases of 2024? I would sure like to hear from you down in the comments section. And with that said, also leave me some comments on your thoughts and opinions of the things that fell into my best and worst purchases of 2024. I would love to hear from you. I do like to comment and have conversations down there in the comment section. So don't forget to hit your girl up. I hope that you and yours are doing well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. Thanks again for visiting with me today. And until next time, bye, friends.